Hello, dreamers! Happy lunchtime for some of you. So I wanted to pop on today and just chat with you guys and tell you about one thing that was really helpful in my business, in my visibility strategy, so that I didn't feel like I was getting lost, getting crazy, getting like losing my mind. Especially when it came to Facebook groups. So there was a time early on in my business where I was in like 8 Facebook groups and posting like 3 times a day. And I was like rotating a bunch of posts around, and it was really exhausting. And quite frankly, it wasn't really doing anything for my business. But then something shifted. And well, a couple of things shifted. One is that whole like the myth that I've sort of been sharing around different places, that you don't have to be everywhere all the time. Like that visibility doesn't mean being everywhere. It's being in the right places and being consistent in those places. And so once I shifted that mindset and I realized like what groups were really working for me and which ones weren't, and was still able to maybe scale back and be consistent, that helped a lot. But what also helped a lot was starting my own Facebook group. And here's why. And it's not just to have a Facebook group, but it was super helpful in a few ways. One, it brought people to me, right? So I had my unique point of view, the unique stuff that I was doing, and that sort of enabled me to bring the right people in. So almost like qualifying leads before they ever got to me. That's not always the case. Like there will always be other people who are, just in a group to use it and to share their business. And that's cool. Cause to me, that's like a sign of a good group, right? That like people are there and they're promoting their business in it and they're helping one another. So that's really exciting. So to me, I was totally okay with that. At first I was like, but then I really thought like, oh, that's what it means like to have like a good group, is that people are sharing about their business and even promoting in there. If they feel comfortable promoting in there, that means they feel like it's a good group. And so that's exciting. So I did that. So that was one. It brought people to me. 2 is it gave me a more focused place to put my concentration. So I could spend time creating content and putting it in other places, but I could really go deep and interact and give great advice in my group, or do things like live streams that I wouldn't do other places in my group, because like when I was doing them on my page, I don't have very many people who like my page because I don't focus on that. I mean, it's over 200 now, which is awesome, but nobody tunes into live streams except for when I come in here. And then there's a lot of groups that you're not allowed to do live streams, and I just really love connecting with y'all that way. So it really gave me another, like a central place to focus, and I could draw other people into it and still share my message in other places, but really gave me a place to go deep. And if you're an introvert, you know that going deep is most important to you in your relationships. And so it really just helped me focus. It also gave me a certain amount of status. Like you get a certain amount of authority and expert status when you have your own group and you're giving content and it's coming frequently, like in your group from you. And you're having a place where you get to comment and give advice, and people are asking you questions and looking to you for things. Like people, and what I found especially in this group, because of the stage of business you're in and your beliefs and everything, y'all are coming to this group to get help, to ask questions, to be seen and heard, and to get like good content. And so there are some groups that you'll go to and it's just for like them to hang out, and like not spam each other, but promote a lot. And then there's groups where people go deep and they learn. And I feel like that's what's happened in here. And it's been a community of believers. So that's been really important in this online world, is to have that community of believers. And those are all things that I wanted for this group. And that really gave me a certain amount of authority, because I was able to talk about things. I was able to facilitate discussion, facilitate, growth and results. And some of that comes through like challenges and things like that, but you really get the help inside the group, right? And so it set me up in a way to really be able to establish myself in a way that you might not otherwise do if you're just borrowing other people's platforms all the time. And that's why I talk about like blogging and having a website being important, because you don't just want to always be building everything on somebody else's platform. You need your own. That's why your email list is important. And that's what a group, my own group, did for me. Now, it's not the right thing for everyone, and it does require time, but it can be a huge booster to your business. And that is why I am doing a limited time bonus for those of you who sign up for Servant Leader Sales. And those of you who have already signed up, you get this bonus too. Yay! But you get Servant Leader, with Servant Leader Sales, you're going to get anybody who signs up by Saturday night at 9 p.m. Central. So that's 10 p.m. Eastern. Anybody who signs up between now and then will get my Facebook group starter kit by the time we kick off in January. So I'll work over the holidays to make sure to put all the finishing touches on it to give to all of you who sign up before then. And here's what will be inside. It will be, or here's what is inside. It's it will help you form the specific vision for your group, because that's what's so important. A lot of people will say, I just want a group, and they don't actually spend time to decide what they want that group to look like and be about. So they end up changing direction and confusing people. So we'll start with that. We'll also talk about how to come up with some content plans for your group, or to determine like what kind of things you want to share in the culture of that group, so that you know what you need to be a part of in that way. And we'll talk about promoting your group, getting it out there, helping people come into your group and see you as an authority. So those are the three main things that will be discussed. There will be other stuff in there too, but I don't want to give away everything. But it'll really be a starter kit for you to really think through those different things, like what does it need to be about, and establishing your rules and your guidelines and everything that you want that to be. And then we'll talk about what needs to go in there, what needs to be happening, what are the bonuses that you need to be having, or what are the special things about your community that we talked about here, and how do we actually implement them into a community. And then we'll talk about how to get people in it, because it's not much of a group if it's just you hanging out, right? So we'll talk about that, getting people in it. And then all of that is under the guise of being a servant leader, and not guise, that sounds like a disguise, but under the umbrella of being a servant leader, getting sales, and connecting. Because here's the truth. The clients that I've worked with one-on-one, whether it's been intensives or other things, they've all come through my group at some point, or we've been in touch in some way from somebody else's group, right? So groups have been huge for my business. They're not the only thing that gets me discovery calls. I get a lot of discovery calls from the other stuff that I do, but this is a great way to start off with your authority building in a way that feels comfortable and intimate, and establishes your authority and allows you to see who the most qualified people are. Because it's great for market research. It's great for seeing, the most qualified leads and connecting with those people and reaching out to those people and building the relationships, which we'll talk a lot about in Servant Leader Sales. So this will just help you create a place to jumpstart all of that connection. So if you are interested in that bonus, this alone could be another $47, at least. I know that I've paid more for that kind of information. So it's definitely worth at least $47, which is the whole price of Servant Leader Sales in the first place. So you've got this plus this bonus if you sign up by Saturday, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern, or whatever kind of PM or AM that is for you. So definitely jump on this. It's going to be awesome. I'm really excited by the group of women who are already in there. There's like 8 or 9 of them already in there, and more joining every day. So come on over. It's $47 and it's a whole sales process that's based on how Christ was a servant leader and how you can do that too. And on that note, next week I'm going to have an interview series with some other entrepreneurs about how they got their first client and how they stayed true to themselves and their faith in the process. So that they didn't feel icky or manipulative, but they actually got sales that are working. So, and now have thriving businesses. So we're going to talk to those women and you're going to hear more about them. So stay tuned next week because those interviews are coming your way. And be sure to check out Servant Leader Sales. It's at kateboyd.me/SLS for Servant Leader Sales. And it's $47 and it's a complete sales system. And another group to connect in and to practice with and to brainstorm with as you go, so you can kick off your new year with the tools and the training to close your first clients for real, okay? All right, talk to you later.